Hi boys and girls, this is Karen. It's so good to see you again. Thanks for joining me. I really miss working with you. Hopefully we can come together again soon. So last week we talked about bouncy eggs and how the eggshell is made. And this week we're going to talk about how the eggshell can be used in different ways. We're going to make a bird feeder, and you'll be able to feed the birds those eggshells that you aren't using, as long as your parents are okay with it. Because the birds actually really like to eat the eggshells. The calcium carbonate that we talked about before that's on them is really good for them, and it helps them to make more eggs in the future. So that's kind of cool, right? Okay, so before we start making our bird feeders, I wanted to tell you about 3 different kinds of birds that you might see come to your bird feeder. The first bird that I'm going to talk about is called a robin. And robins have red stomachs and a little bit of like black feathers, as you can see on your screen. And they are super popular in the Utah area. They really like to eat worms and insects, and they really like fruit too. So if you have any fruit, they would love to eat those. Their eggs are actually kind of different than most bird eggs. They are bright blue. So if you ever see a blue eggshell on the ground, you know it's from a robin. And the next bird that I'm going to talk about is called a sparrow. And sparrows are pretty popular in parking lots. If you've ever gone to Walmart or Smith's or any other big grocery store, you'll probably see this bird flying around and looking for different kinds of foods. They're brown usually and pretty small actually. They're the smallest of the 3 birds that we'll talk about today. They also like to eat worms and bugs and fruit. And if you really want to get on their good side, give them seeds. They love seeds. So anything like sunflower seeds or any other kind of seed you have, they would love you if you gave them that. So the last bird that I'm going to talk about is called a magpie. Magpies are black and white, and they have really long tail feathers, as you can see. And they also like to eat all the things that I talked about before, so worms and insects and fruit, but they also like to eat dead animals, so probably stay away from giving them that. But if you want to get on their good side, you can give them worms as well. They'll love that. They'll probably just come no matter what, because they like to eat basically anything that you give them, so you'll probably see them around quite a bit. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about the sparrow eggs and the magpie eggs, but sparrows are like a greenish gray with speckles on them, so brown speckles, brown dots. And then the magpies actually have tan eggs, so they camouflage a little bit better into their surroundings. So that's fun. You can look around for those, especially because it's springtime, so they're all out now, and I hope you get to see them. You should maybe send some pictures and comment below if you do see any of them. Alright, so on to the bird feeder. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to find a container that you can use. I would suggest asking a parent just to make sure they didn't have anything else in mind for them, or that they're okay with you making it. But today I'm going to be using a milk gallon container, a milk carton, I guess is the right word. But I also used a nut box the last time I made this, and you can't really see the sides right now because I covered them in green tape, so my bad. Sorry guys, but you get the idea. So once you've found your container, it can be a box or a milk container or any other kind of thing that's big enough for a bird to be in. The first thing that you're going to want to do is to wash it out, because if you don't wash them out, they can get kind of smelly. So make sure you wash it. And then the next thing that you're going to do, I would suggest drawing like an outline of windows or doors that you would like to have in your container, okay? Once you've drawn an outline, you can take something sharp or pokey, and with your parents' permission, again, remember to be careful and ask your parents, because no one should get hurt. That would be so sad. You're going to cut out your outline. So I will just do that now. maybe. Or maybe not. I forgot to bring something to poke with, so we'll see if this little pin works. Hopefully it does. And I would suggest making 2 doors or windows just to make sure that the birds get enough air circulation in there, because you don't want your birds to suffocate while they're trying to eat, right? So make sure that you put enough holes in your container so that the birds will stay safe and healthy. All right, I've poked those now, so now I'm just gonna go in with my scissors and hopefully, ooh, it's bending a little too much. The last time I did this it worked, but it's giving me a little bit of trouble right now. We'll see what happens, won't we? Okay, maybe we'll just cut this. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna stick them right in there and just cut just little pieces at a time. Alright, and here, oh, I don't want them to get hurt by that sharp thing. I'm gonna cut that off too. Now, I finished one, but I think I might make it a little bit bigger just to make sure the bigger birds can get in there too if they want to. So, I'm just gonna go in there, open it up just a little bit more. Alright, and then we've got some more sharp pieces. Whoop. So we don't want those in there. Okay, so I've got one done. I'm gonna go in and probably put another one right there. And remember, whenever you're using scissors, try and be very careful. If you feel like it's a little too hard for you to do alone, I want you to be super safe and ask someone you trust to help you with it, okay? So an older sibling, or maybe your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, or whoever is watching you at the moment, you can ask them for help too, okay? Because I would like you guys to stay safe above everything else. All right. If you do end up using a milk carton, they're a little bit easier to cut, so I would suggest trying to find this first, okay? All right, so now I've got my 2 holes. One's a little bit bigger than the other, but that's perfect, because then the little ones can get in this one, and the big ones can get in that one. So, all right, the next thing that you're going to do after you've cut your holes, I need you guys to decorate them, okay? So you can use whatever you want to decorate this. I tried to use crayons on this one, but it didn't really work, so I had to go and start using tape that I had, because that was all that I had to decorate with. If you don't have tape though, you can use paint. Paint would be fun too, and if you don't have paint, then you can try and use crayons or colored pencils or anything you have. And if you don't have any of that, it's okay to just leave it undecorated. That would be fine too. They will love the food, whether the container is decorated or not. So, after you've decorated it, you're going to want to make a hole in the top of your lid, or wherever you're going to put the string to hold your container in the trees, okay? So, I'm just gonna do that now. Poke a nice little hole in there. And then I'm going to take my string, and actually it will be easier for me if I just pull this off. All right, and I need to put all that string here. If you can see this, I'm gonna put this string right through that hole that I made. Perfect. Okay, so just like this. And then I'm going to tie a big knot, so I might have to tie it a few times so that the knot doesn't come through the hole. Okay, so I'm just gonna knot it a few times, And if you have a hard time knotting, I explained how to do a knot in one of my earlier videos. So you can go back and try to get some help with that if you need to, or you can ask a parent or an older sibling. All right, I've got my nice little knot in the container top, and it goes through the top just like that. Now I'm gonna screw it back on. And here we go. And then you can either make a loop, so tie these right here, or if you want, you can just tie the top of it to a branch or anything up high where the birds will easily be able to get in. And then you can put any kind of food in the bottom here. So you could put the fruit that we talked about, just cut them up and put little pieces of fruit in there. So like apples would probably be the best. Or if you want, you could, if you don't have fruit, you could put some peanut butter in there, just a little bit, not too much, because too much of anything is a bad thing, especially for birds. Or if you don't have peanut butter, you could put seeds. If you don't have seeds, you could go get worms and bugs and anything else that you think they would like to eat. But there are a few things I'd like you guys to stay away from giving them, okay? Because they actually makes them really, really sick, and we want to make sure our birds stay healthy, right? So they keep coming. So make sure you stay away from giving them bread, makes them sick, and try not to give them rice either. That is also super bad for them. And stay away from oats as well, okay? So bread, oats, and rice, don't give them that. Make sure that we're only giving them worms and bugs and fruit and peanut butter and seeds. Oh, I almost forgot, eggshells. Remember at the beginning of the video when I told you they loved eggshells? Feel free to crush up your old eggshells and give them that, because they would love that. So here's your cute little bird feeder. I would love to see pictures of them, so feel free to show them to me below. I hope they work out for you just as much as they've worked out for me, and have a good day. Thank you. Bye.